Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm sorry it's been a while since I posted a video. I've just been busy with TAFE stuff and everything for that. But we're doing a video today and I'm very excited. And today that is just going to be a chit chat makeup video. I was going to do a tutorial but I thought I don't really want to do a tutorial. So it's just going to be a chitty chatty get ready with me kind of video. So I don't know what I'm going to end up with today. We will find out as we go along. So we're just going to get started and we'll see what happens. So the first thing I've done is I've just tied up my hair just so that when I'm doing my primer base, it doesn't just, end up going all over my eyes. So that's what I've done. And for the base today, I'm actually going to be using the Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer. Yeah, which is oil-free. It has a broad spectrum SPF 15 in it, which is good. And it is non-greasy. So that's very good. So I'm going to put some of this on before I put on my foundation. I'm just going to squeeze it onto my hand. It's already gone everywhere. And I'm just going to rub it in all over my face. Scoop it up off my table, because my table's clean anyway, so it's going to be fine. And you want to make sure that when you're doing this, that you have as clean hands as possible. As if your hands are a bit dirty, then obviously that's when you can get the spots forming. So just want to make sure that your hands are as clean as possible before you, start with this step. I just want to make sure get it all over the face. Like anywhere that the foundation is going to go, you just put it in everywhere. And it kind of just acts as like a glue for the foundation. Over the eyes as well, can we put it on our eyes? A little bit by our ears. Also guys, I have no clue how long this video is going to be today. It may be 30 minutes or maybe 20 minutes. And I still don't know how to edit, so it's still going to be on my phone. So I apologise if it is a long video. You can just fast forward to the bits that you want to see. Okay, well now that the primer is done, and it's all sinking into our face, I'm going to go ahead and start on my foundation. And the foundation I'm going to use today is the Hourglass Vanish Seamless Finish Long Liquid Foundation in the colour Shell. I'm just going to squeeze a bit of this into the back of my hand. I'm just going to shake it as well because it's been sitting for a long time. So I just want to make sure shake it just to aerate it. Oh, it's quite thick, so I'm not going to use that bit. I'm not going to use the bit that just came out quite thick. I'm going to use the other section. So I just got a little cotton ball here. I'm just going to take off that bit that was really thick. Okay. Then I'm going to use this Morphe R6 foundation brush. I'm just going to dip it into here. And I'm just going to dab it onto my face. And blend it in as I go. I'm only going to do like a thin layer of this foundation. Because it is quite high coverage. So I don't want it to be like really cakey. I just want it to, cover the skin. So I'm just going to do like one layer of the foundation today. Normally I do like 2 layers to make sure I cover everything. But I'm just going to do 1 layer today and blend everything in. And yeah, it does actually look quite yellow on the camera, but I'm going to blend it in so that it doesn't look so crazy. I believe this is a yellow-based foundation. I don't know a lot about it, but I think it's a yellow-based foundation. I'm just going to put a little bit on my nose. You can see already that was like one pump of that foundation, and it's already like pretty much covered my face. I will just need a little bit more just to cover the other like pink area that hasn't been captured. So I'm just going to do another little pump, just a small one, and then again just dab the brush in and blend it out, and then just blend it out. I'm going to go over my eyes as well, because you know I like to, my eyes just a little bit beside the ears, and then just a little bit under the chin and under the neck, just to blend it out. You know, just to blend it in. Because if your face and your neck are different colours, it's going to look a bit awkward. So you just want to blend it in together. Fade it out so it's not so harsh. I always like to put a little bit extra under my nose, because that's where my makeup will always come off first throughout the day. So I'm just going to put a little bit extra just on the sections where I think I need it. Just like here. I'm just going to blend it in. And you can change hands if your hand gets really sore. The reason I'm blending it is because I want it to look like I have foundation on. I want it to look like I have makeup on, like I have my foundation on, but I don't want it to look like really, really thick and really cakey. Because sometimes when I have it on that's like super, super thick and super, super cakey, I look a bit ghostly. I look like a ghost. So I just really want to make sure that I'm blending it in properly. That's what I'm only really doing. That's why I've only got like one layer of this foundation on. I'm just blending it in really well, but I'm going to blend it in super well. Just to make sure. Okay, I think that is pretty much done. Now that is all blended in, which is great. I'm just going to turn my fan on. Bring some more light into the room. Now I'm just going to do some concealer. And the concealer I'm going to use is the Tarte Shape Tape in the colour 12N Fair Neutral, which is the colour I am. But I think this is a bit lighter than the actual foundation. And I'm just going to put it on the areas like under my eyes, just to brighten my under eyes, because my under eyes can get, you know, quite dark at times. I'm just going to brighten up under there. Bit of stray hair somewhere. Found it. I'm also just going to put a little bit on my cheekbones here, on my jawbone. I also just like to put a little bit up here, you know, just to brighten up that area. And then I'm going to use what brush am I going to use for that? I'm going to use this brush. This is my Real Techniques. I'm actually just going to bring all my brushes down, just so it's easier, so I don't have to keep getting up. If I bring all my brushes down, then it's going to be easier for me. Get all in the way. I'm just going to have to deal with that being in the way. Okay, that's good. So I've got this. Actually, I'm going to use a different brush. I've always used that brush. I'm going to use a different brush today. The brush I'm going to use is, I'm going to use this Coastal Scents brush. I'm just going to brush it in. Actually, no, that's too small. Now I'm going to use that brush I just used before. Where did I just put it? I'm just going to use this one just to blend it in. This is the one I always use for blending concealer. Even though this is the contour brush, I use this one with the hair. Sorry, there's a hair. I always use this one for concealer, just to get it more even. Okay, now under my eyes, I'm just gonna dab it. I'm gonna dab it in. I'm gonna brush it in I'm gonna sweep it in a circle. I'm gonna now blend it so it doesn't look too obvious that it's there. And then again on the other side. It's already 11, wow guys, I've already been filming for 11 minutes. I've only done like 2 stages. I've only done like 2 steps. I do apologise. The other steps will be much faster than this, I promise. And then I'm just going to blend that out into the foundation. Because although I feel like we're at a distance, that's fine. And then I'm going to do the top bit finally. And just blend that out. Blend that out so it doesn't just look like it's in a circle. But blend it out into the other foundation as well. Okay, that's good. And then just with the remains, I'm just going to put it on my nose. Okay, we've done that. Next step, we're going to do powder. I am going to use... I'm going to use the Rimmel Stay Matte powder in the colour Transparent. And I'm going to use... What brush am I going to use? I don't have too many brushes. I'm going to use my Models Prefer large powder brush. I'm just going to brush it on. Tap it off. I'm just going to sweep it across the face. I'm going to make sure that everything sits in its place, which is why I do use quite a lot of powder, because I want to make sure that everything sits in its place. So I get like little stray hairs just come up. Does anyone else get little stray hairs that pop up while you're trying to do your makeup? It's the most annoying thing in the world. So yes, you can see I'm doing quite a lot of powder just because I really want to make sure the base stays, because I'm going out today, so I don't want my base to move, which is why I'm doing quite a lot, because I want it to, you know, not move. I want it to simply stay there. I want my base to stay on my face, which is why I'm doing a lot of foundation, of powder, sorry. Especially on my nose, where it always comes off first. Okay, I think that is fine. I think that will do. Next, I'm going to do some blusher, and I'm going to use this Designer Brands Make 'em Blush. This Designer Brands Make 'em Blush in Pressed Mineral Blush. And I'm going to use... I'm going to use my Coastal Scents blush brush. I'm only going to do a little bit of this blush because it's super pigmented. So you only really need a small amount of it. I'm just going to swirl that onto the apple of my cheeks. nose to bring back some colour. You can see that, I think. Yeah. Again, you tap it off. I like to really make sure it's prominent, so I'm going to do a lot more. There we go. And then the other side as well. Really make sure it's prominent. Really all over the upper of your cheekbone there. Really make the blush stand out. Really make that blush stand out. Beautiful. So now that we're blushed, we're going to do our highlighter. And the highlight I'm going to use is the Marzipan. I'm going to use this I Heart Revolution Marzipan blush baked highlight, which looks like this. You need to be careful because it's going to fall out. It looks like this, so with some gold veining. And I'm going to use my favourite highlight brush, which is probably not, it's not really for highlights, for powder and sculpt. I use it for highlight, and that is the Models Prefer Powder and Sculpt brush. And again, with the, similar to the blush, this is a really pigmented highlight, so I'm just going to do a little bit. Tap, tap, tap it off, and then put it on the cheekbone. Was it super pigmented? I only need a little bit. Look at that. Beautiful. I will do a little bit more just to really make it pop. And then just bring it up here a little bit too. And then on the other side. And then because it's quite harsh, I get the other side and I blend it. I'm just going to do a little bit more as well, just to really make it shine. There we go, look at that. Then I'm just going to, again, I'm actually use a different brush just to blend it. So I'm going to use my buffing brush from Rebel Techniques. I'm just going to buff that out just a little bit. It is quite harsh. Just going to buff out that a little bit. Alright, beautiful, there we go, that's done. Next thing I'm going to do is my brows. So, what am I going to do for brows? Yeah. I'm going to take my Designer Brands brow brush. I'm just going to comb the brow. I don't fill in my brows. I don't like pluck them. I just fill them in with like a little bit of like a brow mascara. I don't actually like fill them in with powder because I feel that it's going to take too long. And I don't have time for that. And then just again on the other side, just to brush them into the shape I want. Okay. Now I'm going to take this Maybelline Brow Drama in medium brown. And I'm just going to sweep it in across. Just making sure it gets every little individual hair. And then again on the other side. Good. Starting to sweat. Does that happen to anyone else? Does anyone else just start sweating? Does anyone else like Cupid's bow start sweating whenever they do makeup? No? Just me? Cool. Next, I'm going to do my eyes. Now, I have no clue what colour I'm going to do. I mean, I have red, so maybe I could do like a red and white look. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to get out my eye primer. Oh, I can't do a glitter glue today. No. I'm just going to get out my eyeshadow primer. And yeah, I'm going to go from there. Okay, and let me see what colours I have, I want to do today. I think I might do... some kind of colour. Okay, apologise for that. I'm going to use my Huda Beauty Rose Gold Remastered palette. So I'm going to first use this, which is my... trying to zoom in for you guys, it's a little bit difficult. You're going to use this Too Faced Shadow Insurance 24-hour wear. I do have another one in case this one has gone off, which I don't think it has, which is good. And this is just a little eyeshadow primer. I'm going to squeeze out the dead bit, the juice. Okay, I'm going to squeeze a little bit onto my finger. I'm just going to put that into my eye. And then blend it in. And then again on the other side. Okay. I'm going to open the palette. I'm trying to think what colours I want to do today. Okay. Then I'm going to take my... This doesn't actually have a name, it's just the Models Prefer brush. but I like to use this one for eyeshadow, so I'm just going to let that dry a little bit more. And then I think I'm going to go for Dubai. So this is the issue, I always come to these palettes and I think I don't want to use it, but I do. No, I'm going to use this palette. I'm going to dab a little bit into Risque and Bubbly and try and make a shade with those two. So first I'm going to do Risque. Tap it off. And I'm just going to blend it onto the eye. Now because the primer is quite sticky, I need actually quite a lot of this to really make the colour stand out. I'm just bringing it under the eye as well. I'm gonna blend it, so it's not gonna look as... I'm gonna blend it, so I promise you it's not gonna look as crazy. I will blend it. I'm just trying to get the colour on first. This is quite a dark colour, so normally I would use this at night, but as I said, I'm going to blend it so that it gets a bit lighter. The reason I'm just making it dark now is just so I can cover the lines it makes from the primer. But I'm going to make it, not as harsh. I'm just trying to get the shape first. Okay, I'm happy with that side. I'm going to do the other side first, and then I'm going to do the inner corner colour. So again, I'm going to take Risque and put that on the outer corner. You probably can't see, sorry. I'm using my phone, but I've propped it up in a book, and it's a bit hard to zoom in when I'm there. I'm also using my other mirror here, just to make sure that everything's even, so it's a little bit difficult. Alright, that looks pretty even actually. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm pretty happy with how even that is looking. Obviously this side looks a bit thicker. So I'll just make this side a tiny bit thicker. I'm just going to make this side a tiny bit thicker. there just so it's matching. Okay. Now I'm gonna blend it. So I'm going to use what? I'm gonna use this Morphe R36 brush, and I'm just gonna blend that whole thing. This brush is terrible. Let's not use that one. I'm gonna use this one instead. I'm just gonna blend it out. And what that blending does is it blends it into the opening I've already done, so then it's not as harsh. Also, if it's harsh, it's going to be a little bit harder. It's actually working, so I'm just using the brush, just to blend all the colour in together, so that it's still bold, but it's not crazy dark as it was before. You feel free to skip ahead this part if you want, because this is going to take a while. I really need to make sure everything is blended in together. You can't just rush this part, you really want to make sure it's all blended in. It's still quite harsh, isn't it? I'll do it a little bit more. Hopefully once I put the other colour in, it won't be as harsh. It's probably going to be as good as we can get it, honestly. So I'm going to do the other side. It's probably going to be as blended as we can get it. I will try and blend it a little bit more. What am I going to try and do here? I'm going to use a little bit of my foundation brush. I'm just going to try and, That worked. Okay, let's look out some of that darkness in that colour. Okay, let's do that. That's fine. It is Nurse's gonna unfortunately be as light as it's gonna go, unfortunately. But that's okay, because it's still pretty good. So then, I'm gonna get a different colour silver. The silver I'm going to use is, I'm gonna use this Inner Corner silver from the Natasha Denona Glam palette. And I'm literally gonna put it in the inner corner, as it says to do. I'm going to use the I'm trying to think what brush would be best for that. I'm gonna use this brush. This is just the Models Prefer, I don't know, brush. And I'm literally just gonna put that in the inner corner. Like that. And again on the other side. I like to take the silver kind of into the purple to kind of mate with it. Because then that way it's actually kind of easier to blend the two in together. So that's done. Now I'm going to use just this brush. I'm just going to blend it in a little bit. And then blending that in. Perfect. That is that. So that stage is done. Now we only have a couple stages left, which is, you know, really, really exciting. Next, I'm just going to touch up my foundation and under my nose. I'm just going to touch up the foundation under my nose. So that's the one area. It always comes off. I'm just going to put a little more powder over that section. lost it. I found it. Good. That's that. Next step is mascara. I was actually going to do a little bit of a, yeah, I'll do a little one. I'm just going to do a tiny little cat flick. I'm just going to use this Heavy Metal liner from Urban Decay. And I'm literally just going to do the tiniest little line. And the other side, I know it matches, but there we go. That's done. We got one going up higher than the other, but I don't care. Final couple of stages are I'm going to do my lashes. I'm going to use a waterproof mascara. The mascara I am going to use is the Maybelline Lash Sensational. It is my favourite. And it really just defines the lashes. Really makes them stand out. I need to get that purple again. I'm just going to do a little bit of a touch up underneath the eye. I just want to let that silver really like blend into it. What did I use for the silver? I apologise, this is such a long video. And then again, I'm just going to do it on the bottom lash too. And then on the other side. Okay, there we go. I've actually just realised I've smudged a little bit into my eyeshadow. Okay, there we go. Okay, so, well there you go guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to do my lipstick and other stuff off camera, because otherwise it's going to take really long. And this video is already long enough, so I hope you guys enjoyed that and really enjoyed that. And I will see you again soon with another video. And yes, it does look terrifying now, but it's not. I will try and make it a bit less terrifying, but it doesn't look that bad really, so maybe I'll keep it. But yeah, so I'm gonna end the video here, and I'll see you guys again very soon. Bye!